Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/idontworkherelady. So sit back, relax and enjoy some Reddit stories. Yes, I speak English. No, I don't work here. And no, I'm not obligated to help you. I forgot to mention me and my entire group were wearing this white Mickey print t-shirt from Uniqlo. It is Disney branded but looks nothing like the uniform. And all the employees had these mouse ears / sailor hat things on, and they had name tags in lanyards with pins on them. This event happened almost 3 years ago. I was lucky enough to go to the soft opening of Shanghai Disneyland a couple weeks before the official opening with my church's youth group. The day was pretty fun as there weren't a lot of people and we got to ride most of the big rides with only a 20 to 30 minute waiting time. Anyways, at the tail end of our visit, everyone's pretty tired from walking around all day. So we decide to go to the only open gift shop in the park located at the Tomorrowland area. This is a soft opening meant for friends and family of those who worked on the park to allow them to experience the rides and stuff. So the gift shop is stocked with a sample one of each item available at all of the future gift stores with a corresponding piece of paper with the name of the item in Chinese, its price, and a number that correlates with the item. There are a lot of signs posted all around the store and at the front door, notifying the customers in both Chinese and English that you are supposed to write down the item number, amount, and size if applicable with the Mickey Mouse branded pen and paper that they pass out when you enter the store, and hand it to one of the store attendants to get your stuff. Just for some context, I attended a private international high school in Shanghai where I was taught in English, so I am better at English than most Chinese kids. Anyway, I spot a girl I recognize from playing sports with other schools. She's there with who I think is her mum, and they're struggling at the plushie bin. I ended up helping them find the things that they need. Halfway through, I feel a presence approach me. I don't pay it much mind as I think it's one of their other family members, and I finish up writing down the number for the Kylo Ren Mickey that they wanted. They leave seemingly happy with their choices, and I look through the plushie pile some more to see if there's anything I want. After finishing, I turn to look for my friends, and I'm confronted with the most forced smile I have ever witnessed. The woman who I thought was their family member was standing about 10 centimeters from me, and her face was about 5 centimeters away from my neck. I felt her warm, caustic breath huffing and puffing on my collarbone. I thought it was kind of weird, but my tired brain at this point thought that maybe she was tired too, and was just trying to put on her best smile. I awkwardly mutter, "No problemo," and scuttle away to find my friends. I hear her yell, "Hey, what?" And then I felt it. Her oily, grubby, marshmallow fingers with her crusty acrylics grabbed my arm. I slowly turn around and am immediately met with a shirt shoved in my face. "We need L's for these shirts. Your guy's stock is terrible, there's practically nothing here." "Excuse me?" was all I could mutter before she talked again, angrier. "Just look in the back, I know you have more stock back there." I look around, her 2 kids are behind her, hands full of the sample toys. She's holding one shirt right next to my face and is holding 2 more on her other arm. I look around. Chinese people aren't very confrontational, but I love to watch. There are about 10 to 12 people staring at us in the immediate area. "You're not supposed to take those, read the signs." "Excuse me?" "Those are samples, you're not supposed to touch them." "Don't you tell me what I can and can't buy. Who's in charge here? Get me your supervisor. You're clearly untrained." "Dude, I don't work here. I was just helping a friend." "That's unfair treatment, just because they're your friend." I could only sigh out, "What?" before one of the members from my youth group yelled from across the store in Chinese to see if I was done. I decide it's just not worth it and start heading towards the group. I hear her screech, "Stop right there!" immediately followed with a, "You're supposed to serve me, not them. You speak English, you're supposed to help the American customer, not one of your Chinese, and I can't find the right sizes." There were two big things that ticked me off about this statement. Firstly, she said Chinese as if it was her PTA mum friend she was complaining to about some Asian kid getting the valedictorian position over her precious baby. Secondly, she's completely ignored what I said and has contradicted herself as she's gone from telling me that I'm untrained, which I am because I don't work there, to now me being trained specifically to her Americans. I don't even turn around and yell, "I'm not a freaking employee, you're being a witch," and then turn around to look her in the eyes to say, "You're not my freaking problem." I hear a comically loud gasp coming from her and see her form an individual stampede and approach me. I started getting kind of scared of her. 150 kilograms of chub tubs. Edit, she was closer to maybe 80 to 90 kilogram. I fear I may have been a little fat phobic. Is gonna body my frail, lanky 60 kilogram bones, so I put my hands up and brace myself, and I end up awkwardly catching the shirt and the hanger that she was trying to hit me with. I push her hand away and just leg it towards the door. At this point, I was in a state of fear and confusion as no one outside of my own mother had ever attempted to hit me like that. I catch my friends at the keychain area close to the counter and try to blend in with the crowd and begin to tell them about the crazy lady that was trying to murder me. After my unsuccessful attempt to get everyone to leave as they had just handed in their papers, I hear a loud screech of someone speak in a way as if they were condescendingly speaking to someone they perceived to be mentally slow. "Your worker attacked me." This came with its own flailing of hands and trying to mime out the phrase. I see this poor manager on the verge of breaking down after dealing with waves of demanding Disney fans and being yelled at in a language he barely understands. At this point, I've just been freshly called a homophobic slur for running away from the woman and make the decision that no one spooks me twice. I stride towards the woman and kindly say to the manager in Chinese, "She's crazy and just tried to hit me because she thought I worked here and didn't want to help her." All the while she freaks out and keeps yelling to him, "That's him, that's him." Obviously the manager tunes her out because he actually understands what I'm saying, and he tells me he would call security but there aren't any available at the moment. She keeps screeching stuff about the manager discriminating her by not talking to her while I speak to the manager about what to do. Soon enough, the woman gets agitated and grabs the manager and starts shaking him, screaming at him to fire me. The manager just shoves this woman off, puts a finger in her face, and says in his broken English, "No touch." She's shook, realizes what happens, and starts stumbling a couple steps back and flops onto the floor. She just starts flailing around and screaming. At this point, the entire store's customers, including the girl I was helping and my church group, and most of the employees have gathered around and have started watching this woman act like a toddler. She does this vaudeville-esque pause to see if there are people watching, and goes straight back to screaming and crying. A bunch of Chinese people start pulling out their phones and filming this crazy white lady make a mess at Disney. After she realizes no one gives a freak about her childish behavior and are just watching her, she begins to shift back into anger. "Never in my life has anyone disrespected me like this. 6 years in China, you are the worst," she says as she points her sausage fingers at me. 6 years? 6 years and this woman hasn't even attempted to learn a lick of Chinese. I am dumbfounded. How does she live? Her poor maid. At this point, all eyes are on me, and this becomes one of those moments I would regret and replay every night for the next 35 years if I don't speak my mind. Screw you. That was it. All I could come up with. But thank God she kept talking. No, screw you. You're a rude brat. I'll make sure my husband gets you fired. You've ruined my boy's day. Well, go ahead. I don't work here. I don't need to do anything for you. You're a witch. Screw you, lady. At this point, she is still on the floor, so I just turn around, walk towards my youth group, and just said, "Let's go," in Chinese. We ended up going to Cheesecake Factory, and I got to tell the story to the rest of my youth group, and my leader chewed me out for not being a good Samaritan, but also agreed that she was kind of a witch. You'd think her being American and speaking perfect English she'd understand "I don't work here," but I guess not. You are always a waitress, it doesn't matter what restaurant we're in. I'm a waitress at a local restaurant. On my day off, I scheduled a lunch date with a guy from school. Traffic was brutal, so he was running late. I was sitting at my table looking at the menu. No, this is not the restaurant I work at. It isn't the same food as the restaurant I work at. It is geographically nowhere near the restaurant I work at. A woman came up to me and took my menu out of my hands. "Why are you just sitting here? We've been waiting for service for 45 minutes. No, they hadn't. They came in the same time I did, 10 minutes ago, and they had already gotten drinks. "Ma'am, I don't work here." I didn't recognize her at this point. "Don't lie to me, you're a waitress. You served me just last week, don't you remember?" I vaguely remember her coming into my restaurant now because she complained her meal wasn't served with hot sauce and then sent it back because it was too spicy. I am a waitress at a local Mexican restaurant, but I am not a waitress at this local burger bar. She says, "Same difference, you're a waitress. Grab a pen and paper and take down our orders." I am a waitress, but not here. I'm just trying to enjoy my lunch like you are. I am not employed here in any capacity. To which she replies, "But you're a trained waitress, and this place is clearly running behind. Don't you people take an oath or something?" A little bit of malicious compliance kicked in because I rarely get to stand up to this kind of stupidity in my role as a server, because 99.9% of the time it happens while I'm actually at work. So I went over to their table with a pen and paper from my backpack. I wrote down all their orders, I said it would be 45 minutes and to just sit tight. I even brought over ketchup they asked for, just grabbed off another table. Then I left. I texted my date to meet me at a place a few blocks over. The next day, the lady had called my boss at my actual restaurant, as well as totally unleashed on the manager at the restaurant I was dining at. I felt bad when I realized the tough spot I'd left the people who actually worked there in, so went back the next day to apologize and follow up on the aftermath. Thankfully, they were chill and we had a great laugh over it. They were like, "We were so confused because she described the server with explicit details, but no one remotely like that works here, so we thought she'd lost her mind." My boss knew who I was from her description and told them he takes this very seriously and asked what day this occurred. Then when they told him, he said, "You must be mistaken because that's the server's day off and she wasn't here." After some irate yelling and screaming at my very friendly manager about how I still need to represent the restaurant wherever I go, she gave up. Now to just cross my fingers she doesn't come by to my actual restaurant. It's true, if you are a waiter or waitress in any place, anywhere in the world, you have to serve people anywhere you go. You need to plow my driveway. This happened a few years ago, but I just remembered it from a post I just saw about snow. I was working for a construction company and it was the day after a blizzard. I was running a backhoe all around the town, plowing the parking lots of the various buildings owned by the company. While driving down the road to the next lot, a woman ran out of her driveway and stood in the road right in front of me. I came to a stop since I couldn't just pass her since there was oncoming traffic. She said, "It took you dang long enough. Now clear my driveway and be quick about it." I said that my company that I work for doesn't do driveways. She said, "You work for the town. Now do your responsibility and clear my driveway." I said, "The town doesn't do driveways either." To which she said, "Shut up and do your job." To which I said, "Okay, I will." And with that, I took off down the road while she stood there screaming. Later that day, I ran into a buddy of mine who worked for the town and told him about this woman. He said that there was a town employee a few years back that was fired for plowing people's driveways for extra cash using the town equipment while on the clock. She must have been one of his customers. Even still, the company I worked for had its name clear as day along the loader boom and the backhoe boom. I just love the nonchalantness of, "Okay, I will," and then just driving away. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like. And if you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so by joining the Discord in the top link in the description. But thank you so much for watching and I will see you very soon.